Hey guys, and welcome back to Book Club week 17. So this week we're going to be talking about The Goblin Hero by Jim C. Hines or Hines, I'm not sure which one that is. And I thought this book was fantastic. It was a good follow-on from the first. It was even better than the first. If I was going to rate this book, I would easily give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was, for me personally, phenomenal. It was great to shift that perspective again, especially after going from last week from, Brandon Sanderson's type of writing, slow, pacing, human, deep emotions, deep characters, to Jim C. Hines type of writing, which is it's not fast, but it's flowing, and it's more. Let's cut out any bullshit. Let's not. I wouldn't say Brandon Sanderson. I'm not saying that he tries to drag his books out or anything, but this guy just goes bam. This is what's happening, and we're gonna move from here to here. We're not gonna fuck around. Which I thought was awesome. We sort of have two stories in this as well. It wasn't just Jig the Goblin. It was Slash the Hobgoblin, Vika. Is it Vika? I think it was Vika. Yeah, Vika. Vika, the other goblin who wants to be a mage, who was being possessed by the Pixies, and I thought the Pixies were a fantastic storyline. And of course with the bones of the now dead dragon. What's the dragon's name? I can't remember. But with a now dead dragon now being able to pull them into this world, I thought that was fantastic. Story writing was absolutely amazing. Plot holes, I didn't really see a huge amount of plot holes, because it was probably because the book was so short and concise. Because it was only listening to it, I think it was only like 6 hours, so that probably derives to something like apparently like 343 pages. Isn't a huge amount, but it was short and concise and really nice, which I really liked about this book. There was quite a lot of things I liked about it. I liked Vika's journey through going out for the whole thing. I liked the way that was that this book or next book. This book, yes, I like the way Jig had to take on the Goblin Chief to actually take control of his, what are they called? I never really figured that one out. Are they called, like, they're obviously not a herd. They're not a community. They call it their. Let's just call it their group. The group of goblins and the hobgoblins, and he had to obviously find out how to do this and that, and jig and obviously kill her to bring them to the hobgoblins, so then they could defend their lair and do all this, which I really liked. It was so good. Apparently this is really early work for this guy as well. It was 2007, some of the earliest work. I'm not sure it was some of the earliest work, but apparently it's early work of his, so I definitely want to check him out. He's definitely gone on my radar for really good authors. So so I liked the fact that Timorless Shadowstar was always pushing Jig into the situation. It was like, oh, Jig, you are obviously my champion. You can't ignore this. Let's go. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go see these pixies. Let's attack. Let's not attack, but let's go sort this problem out. Your people are in trouble. You are my champion. We are going to sort this out. Which I really did like, because obviously if he didn't, Jig wouldn't move a muscle. I really did like the old woman as well. Or the old woman and the young guy. The young goblin. I can't remember. Was it Benjir? Or am I pulling out of nowhere? I did try to get a list of all their names, the characters' names, but I couldn't Couldn't find one. But yeah, it was the old lady who works in the nursery. I thought was really outstanding, an outstanding character. When she's just like, she pulls out like a troll baby's diaper. It's like, here you go, light it on fire, and here's your torch. And obviously, Jig, it was surprising because Jig doesn't seem like the kind of guy who will take risks, who will do something to try to save others. But when it comes down to it, he's always taking those risks. He's always putting others before him and trying to save people in his own way. And obviously, one of the genius moments of the book was when he led those pixies into the fire, which I thought was absolutely outstanding. And he set them all alight, which is brilliant. And obviously, the book came to the conclusion of if Jig didn't have his spectacles, he would have probably been he would probably succumb to the woman, the pixie queen. That's it, because the spectacles sort of blocked her phantasmin ray, her charm. So she didn't do it. And obviously Jig, I thought it was really cool the way Jig took all the sneaky goblins down to take out the pixies, but then he also knew that those sneaky goblins are probably going to try to kill him to become chief, which was crazy. I liked that aspect of the book because Jig really had a realism of what was going to happen, and he knew what was going to happen because of his life. It's not like he said, okay, I'm going to kill this person, then that's going to be that. He literally said to Tim of the Shadow Star, oh, I'm dead now because now everybody wants to kill me to become chief, and I'm obviously not a strong goblin, I'm just smart. Which is interesting. He also gave his power away at the end to the elderly lady, I can't remember her name, but she then took up the mantle of becoming chief, which I really did like, if I'm honest. I thought she was really a really good chief, and she knew how to be a chief, which was the more important thing, where Jig was sort of just didn't really know how to be a chief. He's too laid back for that. He would be a good second hand person behind the chief to be intelligent, to tell him well, not behind closed doors, but over his shoulder, to say, oh, do you think this is a good idea, do you think that's a good idea, what about we do this, what about we do that, which he has done like in the background, but the previous chief has not utilized him at all, which I would like to see obviously him be utilized more. And obviously he kills the queen because she can't fly. Go figure. Lazy freaking queen can't fly. Something to do with her body was not misshapen, but too big for her wings, it seemed like. And then she got chucked over the edge, fell, and didn't get back up, along with everything else. So yes, she got absolutely wrecked. And obviously, what's her name? Vika. That's it. Vika with Slash just managed to close the the pixie portal, to the other world by destroying Strahm's. I said Strahm's. Strahm's bones, and then they laced the room with iron right at the end, didn't they? Because that was the only thing that was actually keeping the pixies out, was lacing the room with iron. And Strahm, I doubt Strahm would. They would have come through if Strahm was there. He would have probably killed them all. But yeah, Strahm, and obviously Jig right at the end reopened the mountain to the outside world to open up with trade and stuff like that. I don't really know how that's going to work out. So, saying all that, I really did like this book. I don't really know what else to say about it, apart from, if you haven't read it, give it a read. It's a really good book. Next week, what should we do next week? Next, what book next week? See, I kind of want to do the Mistborn and get that one done, but there are a couple of others I really want to do as well. So I think next week we will do Mistborn, the Well of. Now, what is it called? Not the Well of Ascension. It's called something else. Mistborn Book 3. It's Mistborn Book 3 by Brandon Sanderson, The Hero of Ages. We're gonna hit that book up, and we're gonna do that book. 800 pages apparently. Yeah, so we're gonna knock that book out, and then that will be that trilogy finished. And then we'll come back to Era 2 later in the year, probably. After we visit some other books that I want to visit. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the next week and the week after, because we're probably going to finish off the Jig saga as well. I am going to look forward to, because Jig is a really interesting character to read about, and it's mostly his smarts that I like. The way he outsmarts everybody, not just outsmarting goblins, because that's not a hard thing. He outsmarts pixies, he outsmarts not trolls, were they is it ogres? I think they're ogres. But he outsmarts everybody. Which I really did like. Or he gets really lucky. One of the other two. And he has a god behind him. That always helps. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to subscribe, hit a like rating. Well, just yeah, if you want to see more, subscribing and hitting the bell is the best way to do it. I do these every Sunday. So for that Sunday, or if you're getting up, going to bed early, sometimes you'll see it Monday. For that loveliness in your life, to be able to have a new book each week, or it doesn't even matter. You can like literally just do one book this week, and then it might take a month to read that, then pick up the next book the next month. And you know that if I'm doing a series of books, I'll probably do a week on, week off on it. And you know that, oh, okay, it's take me 2 weeks to read this book, or a month to read this book. So yeah, I can read this book, watch that review, then read the next book, and then watch that review if I wanna chain those books straight on. Then you can go back and go, oh yeah, what about this one? Let's have a little ganners at this one. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and yeah, I will see you guys later. Until next time, peace.